September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Approximately 11,000 children will be diagnosed with some form of cancer this year, but with advancements in technology and research, a large percent of patients will survive. We're joined by Dr. Jackie Krivecka, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine and Associate Professor of Pediatrics at MUSC Children's Hospital, who's here to help break down some information. And later, we'll chat with a parent and volunteer for a special event that's happening in the Lowcountry. Dr. Jackie, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So with advancements in technology and research and all that stuff, what is today's survival rate for children diagnosed with cancer?
So it's now overall it's 80%. 50 years ago, a diagnosis of childhood cancer was fatal. And now, fortunately, over 80% of children diagnosed survive. But the one issue is a lot of our survivors have long-lasting side effects of chemotherapy. And for certain forms of cancer, say such as brain tumors, even relapsed leukemia, there's still a lot of progress that needs to be done.
And what are some of the most common types of cancers found in children these days?
So the most common cancer that we see overall is leukemia, which is a cancer of the blood. And then also brain tumors are quite common. And then neuroblastoma. And then as children get older, we start to see more lymphomas. And we also start to see more soft tissue tumors like sarcomas in our older patients.
I see. What kind of research is happening right now in the area of childhood cancer?
So, fortunately, quite a lot, and that's how we've been able to make so many advances. MUSC Children's Hospital is part of the Children's Oncology Group, which is a large NCI-funded clinical trial group. And most children are treated under a clinical trial. In addition, we're also part of a consortium called Beat Childhood Cancer. We're in the process of trying to develop some new therapies for those, very hard to treat cancers, such as neuroblastoma, brain tumors, and sarcomas. So we've seen a lot of progress. Immunotherapy is very exciting. Different bone marrow transplantation, or we call immunotherapies, including CAR T-cell therapies. So fortunately, there's a lot on the horizon, and one of our goals is to improve the outcome for children, but also to be able to give treatments that have much less side effects and less toxicity down the road, so that our long-term survivors aren't dealing with a lot of the late side effects of chemotherapy, such as issues with their heart, issues with their growth and development.
Now, the Shawn Jenkins Children's Hospital is one of the top-rated children's hospitals in the country. So can you give us an idea as to how far and wide people come to get treatment there?
So we take care of children from really from all over the state. We're the only pediatric bone marrow transplant center in the state. We're the only center that has CAR T-cell therapies. And then there are a number of different clinical trials for which we are the only site. So really take care of children from all over the state of South Carolina.
Right. Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing that with us. And 80% is good, but 100% is better. And that's, of course, the goal that we're going for. Dr. Jackie, I want to thank you for sharing that information with us. Now, coming up next, we're going to be hearing from a parent whose child was diagnosed with cancer and the inspiration behind an event that you need to shave the date for. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're now joined by Richard Kligler and Lincoln Cosmas. Richard and his family endured a trial that they would never wish on anyone. His son Sean was diagnosed with cancer at the tender age of 5. Now cancer-free, Richard has organized a unique event to help raise money for more research and treatment. And Lincoln is a brave soul who took on the challenge and can tell us more. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Richard, tell us more about your son, Sean.
Sean is now 24 years old. He's a childhood cancer survivor. It was an amazing journey when he was diagnosed at age 5. He was just having symptoms of a flu, and we had no idea what it was. And after several months, we decided it was time to bring him into the hospital and check it out. Because with a child of 5 years old, they can't complain to you that something is really more serious than what they have. When my wife and I Mom brought him in, we heard 4 words that no parent should ever hear: is your child has cancer. And it changed everything. At that point, I was an executive for an insurance company. My wife was a sourcing executive for a company, and all of a sudden, that was meaningless to us. All of a sudden, we have a child that was in severe trouble. Sean went through 8 months of chemotherapy, open chest surgery, 22 days of radiation, and I remember every minute of that journey. But today he's very healthy, and he's, thanks to childhood cancer research, he today is living a normal life.
That's wonderful to hear. What kind of cancer was he diagnosed with?
He was diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma, which is a childhood cancer. He had a tumor that basically filled his chest, and with a tumor, a soft tissue tumor, you really can't sense what the issue is. It doesn't show, and there's no way to tell. Rhabdomyosarcoma is deadly. Reoccurrences, there's no survival rate for that. So the treatment that a child has with rhabdomyosarcoma has to be perfect.
And it's relatively rare, is that right?
Maybe 300 cases a year in the U.S.
Oh,
it's very rare. It's very rare, yes.
Okay, and so you found St. Baldrick's Foundation. Can you tell us more about this and how you discovered this organization?
Yes, after Sean finished his treatment, I decided that I wanted to give back for the good fortune we had, that he was doing well. I saw so many children that battled this particular type of cancer and did not survive, and they lost their war. So I wanted to do something special, and I decided that I would raise funds for childhood cancer research until it was treated like a common cold. So I did a lot of research, and I found out about St. Baldrick's, which was a charity that 100% of their funds goes to childhood cancer research. Somebody came to me and said to me, "Did you ever hear about shaving your head for childhood cancer?" And I said, "Shaving your head for childhood cancer?" They said, "Yes, there's an organization that raises funds with this type of concept." And I said, "That's wonderful. How did that all come about?" And they told me about 3 good friends that challenged each other to do something special. And they said by shaving their head in solidarity with the children that lose their hair during cancer treatment, people would pay a lot of money to see them do that. So I said, this is something that I want to do.
You did it, and it's a look that you've adopted and kept ever since, and it looks good on you.
Well, Lincoln, thank you so much.
Now, Lincoln, you have done the same. I want to know more about your experience as well. This is a good look for you as well.
Thank you.
So tell us, how did you decide to join in on St. Baldrick's mission and decide to shave your head? Is this the first time you've ever done that?
This is actually the second time I've done it.
Okay.
We did the event last year with them. I got connected with them through Jeff's barbershop, and they do a big team there. And then this year, when my boss heard about it down at the Southern where I work, he said, well, we're going to put our own team together. So we put a team of 3 shavees, and by the end of the day, we had 8 people get up and shave, including one of my coworkers' son, Noah, who was an adorable young man. And he saw what we were doing and asked why. And he said, well, I want to help support too. And he got up there and shaved his head too, which is pretty brave for a kid at the beginning of the school year.
That is for sure. So how does it feel? Is it liberating?
It is liberating. In this heat down here, now we were supposed to have the event on March 15th.
Yes.
And because of the COVID, it got canceled and, continued to be postponed. So, after trying to grow my hair out for a little bit, it ended up having an extra 6 months of growing out. So
it was a lot to shave off.
It was a lot to shave off. In the Lowcountry heat, it was a lot of hair for a while.
Now, once you did it, though, Lincoln, and this goes for you too, Richard, but once you shaved your head, what went through your mind? How did it make you feel knowing what you did it for?
It's a very rewarding feeling. You almost have an aura around you, feeling that you really accomplished something for childhood cancer. And the people around you are so supportive when they see you being shaved. It's really a wonderful experience.
It absolutely is. And Richard, you've done so much. So from 2006 to 2017, you organized 47 events and raised more than $4 million, more since then. I want to let everyone know that Lowcountry Bald Shaving event is happening Sunday, September 20th. It's from 1 to 4 p.m. It's going to be happening at Jeff's Barbering in Mount Pleasant. There's going to be a live stream. Donations are accepted. And what's your goal this year, Richard?
$100,000.
$100,000.
That's what we'd like to
We can do it. I think we can do it. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for sharing your stories with us, and congratulations on Sean's wonderful life that he's had since he's been in remission. That's fantastic.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you. We're back after this.